The strained relationship between LeBron James and the Cavs owner, Dan Gilbert, continues to be, strained. LeBron James wanted to add many pieces, but it all started with Cavs GM David Griffin, who constructed this roster in order for Cleveland to not only go to 3 straight finals, but to also beat the Golden State Warriors in 2016. He was not renewed, and that was prior to the draft. And then the vice president of basketball operations, Trent Redden, was also not renewed. This will be Dan Gilbert's 4th GM since 2005 when he bought the Cleveland Cavaliers. And yet there is a piece via USA Today that needs to be discussed and that we all need to pay heed to. So here's what was written. Further exasperating James's frustration is the Cavs were close to making a deal for then Chicago Bulls all-star Jimmy Butler the day Gilbert decided to mutually part ways with Griffin and Redden. 2 people familiar with negotiations told USA Today Sports. They requested anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly on the negotiations. This is pure contrasting styles between the Golden State Warriors, even when they lost. They gave an extension to Bob Myers. And yet David Griffin, who again, helped get the Cavs, it's largely LeBron's doing, but who helped get the Cavs to the NBA Finals 3 straight years, was not renewed. This Cleveland Cavaliers offseason has been atrocious, by all means of the word atrocious. They missed out on Jamal Crawford, who, granted, is not a franchise-changing piece, but is a damn good player off the bench. And what exactly did they do? They signed Jose Calderon. They brought over a guy who they had their own draft rights to from Turkey, a center that they're now bringing into the organization. And they re-signed Kyle Korver. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors continue to be the model franchise of the NBA as Kevin Durant retooled his deal. They were able to sign Nick Young. They were able to sign other bench pieces as well, like Omri Caspi. And they have already proven that they are going to contend and go to the finals this next season as well. The Cavs, meanwhile, stay mute. Now, the problem with this is not only that Dan Gilbert is continually screwing LeBron James. Now, granted, there are better pieces there in Cleveland. The land. But when he left previously for Miami with the decision, do you remember who they had on that roster? Boobie Gibson, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I mean, there were some pieces there that you thought, how the hell did this team get to the finals? And it was because of the great LeBron James. Should they have won more games against Golden State? Probably not, because Golden State's sheer dominance is reigning on the league right now. But the Cavs are gunning for the Eastern Conference. They still have it, but they have to find a way to let go of bad contracts in order to sign or trade for better players, a la a Carmelo Anthony type. They gave way too much money to Tristan Thompson when the league is going incredibly small. Again, pointing to the Golden State Warriors for that cause and effect on the league. They go small. They go with 4 3-point shooters on the floor at all times. And the Cavs really only have 1, maybe 2, in Kyrie Irving, even though he's not a pure 3-point shooter, except go back to 2016, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and Kyle Korver. So Tristan Thompson is a bad contract. J.R. Smith is a bad contract, as you're seeing right here. The other one is Iman Shumpert. All bad contracts. LeBron James is going to be 32. What you don't want to do if you're Dan Gilbert right now is screw over the city of Cleveland once again by letting LeBron James walk once again. And he is already laying the blueprint for this to happen. Why would LeBron want to stay somewhere when he's 32, amazingly still in the prime of his career and in incredible physical shape, and waste away his remaining years, cue Superbad, with a team that isn't trying to help him? We've already seen that Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith, LeBron James, Tristan Thompson, and Kevin Love are not good enough. So what do? The question is, do you let go of Kevin Love in order to get Carmelo Anthony and go that much smaller? I still think you need to have rebounding. And Kevin Love can shoot the 3. It's tough, man. It's tough to say. There are positives with the chemistry that Carmelo and LeBron have. Would Carmelo buy in? Would he be able to play stout enough defense that he isn't isolated? Because the playoffs are a slowed down pace of play. The only way that they could possibly land Carmelo Anthony is trading away Kevin Love. Other than that, I don't believe that he's going to go anywhere unless another team sweetens the deal, a la Toronto with Jonas Valanciunas and maybe offering a few other picks here and there. Another clip for another day. The other thing is the mid-level exception that I need to get to. Jamal Crawford, they didn't even offer enough for him to take the contract. He got more with Minnesota. But the Cavs didn't have enough unless they moved those shit contracts. That's why they offered Jose Calderon a little bit more than they should have. But that's why they offered him a deal. That's why they got Jeff Green on the cheap. They need to find a way to move those contracts in order to get better players. Because right now, they are not contending for the NBA Finals. They missed out on Chris Paul being available. Some of the banana boat crew. They missed out on Dwayne Wade being available. Granted, his contract was ridiculous. But they could have had more star players in Cleveland. And they could have picked from other teams to get LeBron more help. Instead, Dan Gilbert sat on his hands and did nothing. And not only did he do nothing, but he did it in a negative way by parting ways with Cavs GM David Griffin. Now, for those thinking, what happened to Chauncey? According to Cleveland.com, there wasn't much of a voice behind Chauncey from LeBron James. And we certainly would have known that. As it stands right now, and as I wrap this up, I want to hear all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Where are the Cavs going? And is LeBron James destined to leave for another team? The Clippers lost Chris Paul, so now he team up with Blake Griffin. I don't buy it. Would he go to the Lakers with a young core? I don't buy it yet. I think he is waiting back. He's sitting back and waiting to see the results that the Lakers have this year. And if he thinks there's a foundation to be set from his prime years of 33 to maybe 35 or 36, when he's set to become a free agent next offseason. Let me know your thoughts. Send them my way in the comments section below. Get at me on Twitter, @RickStrom, on Instagram, @RickyStrom, and subscribe to 2IT Sports.